Happy Easter. Yes, Masco and Disco beer review with me, Disco, coming at you with another beer video from in front of the cans and bowls here on the bar. I'm still religiously calling it Disco Arms. A little bit of a belated video, being it is obviously after Easter, but I got the Hot Cross Buns in anyway, and I got these beers in and I wanted to try them out and see what they were like. I've seen other people do them, but not together. It's also another one in a series, a somewhat accidental series of beers relating to foodstuffs. And this one features one of my favourite foodstuffs. Not hot cross buns as such, but yellow sticker reduced price food from the supermarket. Why should they have all the profits? And I'm big on stuff not going to waste, so I do like a bargain. Which brings me neatly onto the first beer, actually, being that it is called Wasted. The Hot Cross Bun Pale Ale from Northern Monk up in Leeds. And it's a collaboration with an outfit called Surplus Purpose, which looks at food waste, and they reckon 10.5 million hot cross buns, it says here on the back of the can, are wasted every Easter, and probably not just Easter, seeing as the first ones I remember buying this year were around about November time. In fact, I'm fairly certain they're available all year round. I certainly see them on discount a fair bit, and pretty much usually pick them up because I do quite like hot cross bun. Although, I'm wondering, why are they called hot cross buns when they're quite clearly cold? They're not hot cross buns until you warm them up. I digress. Let's get back onto the beer. So yeah, this one's a 5% pale ale. Let's get into the glass and see just how close to a hot cross bun it is. Pours out nice and pale and very bubbly because I poured it. Well, we'll leave that one to settle a little bit. I might as well pour the other one whilst I'm about it. This one I picked up in Tesco, and this other one is one I picked up in Sainsbury's a fair way before Easter. Actually, it's called Hot Cross Bun Ale. It's in the Sainsbury's Taste of Difference range, and it is brewed and bottled by Hall Woodhouse down in Dorset, otherwise known for their Badger ales. Also do a lot of brewing for the supermarkets. This one pours much, much darker. Still quite bubbly. Plenty of carbonation rising up the glass. In a nice clear pint. So the first beer out then, see from Northern Monk up in Leeds. Very, very light, fairly cloudy. Looks like something completely different rather than. Ooh. Absolutely spot on the aroma. Smells like sniffing the top of a hot cross bun. I wasn't expecting it to be that close, but yeah, definitely a sort of pastry smell. Definitely that kind of, cinnamony kind of slightly spiced flavor you get off a hot cross bun. Smells spot on. Not smells fairly natural. Not, I wouldn't say massively synthetic smell. I don't know what additives they've put in it. I'll look at that in a bit. But yeah, it does smell like a hot cross bun and a pale ale. So let's see what it tastes like. Cheers. Not quite so spot on. Oh, there's a raisin or two in that. Slightly, mm, mm. Definitely picking up a bunch of hot cross bun type flavors. A little bit of lemon peel, citrus peel, touch on the orange. Slightly, not quite spot on the back end. There's a little bit of sort of slightly metallic-y kind of raisiny note. But it's all there. There's a little bit of spice, much more delicate than the aroma suggests. It's got a slightly warming feel. I guess because of obviously that they're talking about food waste. I guess they've actually used surplus hot cross buns, which is becoming a growing movement with other breweries. So Laura Monk got in on the act there. And I imagine they've used some in the brew. So that's kind of where that naturalist kind of aroma and flavour comes from, maybe, I'm guessing. I think they haven't quite nailed it for me, but there's definitely some sweetness coming through a bit later. Perfectly decent pale ale with all the right notes of hot cross bun, a little bit of sort of stickiness, almost a honey sweetness at the end as well. Again, I'm going back for more. I'm checking it out, so it's not terrible. It's definitely very, very drinkable. Yeah, it's supermarket beer. I do try not to focus too much on supermarket beers, but I kind of couldn't resist with this one. So for I think it was $3.50 in Tesco. Not a bad little drop. Glad I tried it for Easter. Oh, slightly after as it is now. Let's go straight on to the other one and check out what other flavours. I'm just going to do a quick palate cleanse, I think. Bear with. Splash a little bit of water around because there's quite a lot of sweetness there in that. And some fairly strong, although subtle, but fairly strong flavours. A little quick palate cleanse so I don't cross-contaminate some of the flavours into this one. I want to see just what sort of flavours are there. Let's get a whiff first. Okay, so that's much more. Yeah, that's much more slightly roastier, best bitter kind of aroma, which kind of overrides the hot cross bun nature of the aroma. There's much less kind of spices in there, much less cinnamon. Still a good aroma of like a malt based best bitter. Let's see what flavors we get. Cheers. See, if we're comparing the two, obviously we're not completely comparing like for like, but that one's a much harsher, maltier background. Again, still subtle on the spice coming through. Not so much pastry. More kind of roasted English malts with a little bit of English hop. Very much more the real ale, kind of end of the spectrum that you probably expect from Hall and Woodhouse. A little bit more like kind of, there is a sweetness there at the end, a little bit more like treacle rather than honey. Slightly more developed flavour. Not masses on the spices, but there's a kind of hint of it there. I just will go back for, see what else I can get and finish. It's a perfectly drinkable beer, both of them are. Say a bit seasonal, I guess, but you could have them all year round. It's probably just a divergent recipe of a bitter that they do. I think I prefer on the whole the pale ale. Slightly easier drinking, slightly less rough edges, a bit smoother, and definitely more defined flavours there. both solid beers, easy drinking, and plenty to find in the taste, plenty of flavour. And a good little comparison for Easter or any time of the year, really. Certainly glad with this one. I've done my bit of avoiding food waste, and the same with the actual hot cross buns. Don't normally do this, don't normally eat on camera, just as a quick comparison. Cheers and belated happy Easter.